So is this unit gonna be fire? Come on! Woo! That's fire!
That is fire.
A lot of wardrobe boxes. I will tell you one thing about this locker. They took pride. Let's just double check.
No, get out of there, please.
Oh, okay.
You don't want to exclude yourself.
Storage Wars was a reality show that quickly garnered a lot of attention from the masses. Season 1 started back in 2010, and by Season 2, the show already had over 5 million viewers. People loved the concept of huge storage spaces and then finding quality pieces from piles of junk. Some storage experts made the show so captivating that it kept getting renewed every year. These people have an eye for finding gold in a coal mine, and that's why everyone is so excited to know about the fascinating world of Storage Wars and discovering what the cast members have been up to. So, let's get straight into it and find out about the cast members of Storage Wars.
This one is for you, Mom.
I don't need to know what's in there. I get a feel.
And I'm feeling like this is the one.
Now, Brandy Sante was a part of Storage Wars since the very beginning, but she left the show in 2014 and started her own spin-off reality show. But this new show didn't get half as much viewership as Storage Wars and was discontinued after only one season. Brandy then went back to her regular life, and when things weren't going good, she decided to go back to Storage Wars. Amidst all of this, Brandy also experienced a separation from a long-term partner, Daryl Sheets. Additionally, the thrift store she used to run with Jared was closed down. So she had to stick to Storage Wars to make ends meet. She was doing such a good job at finding precious stuff from junk that she soon became a staple on the show. Brandy wasn't just funny and efficient, but also very competitive, and she knew how to collect the most precious items from practically nothing. So the show's creators put her to good use and garnered a lot of views. And now that the teaser for Storage Wars 2023 is released, it's obvious that Brandy is going to be a huge part of the show, and she'll reprise her role as the know-it-all Brandy with a knack for treasure hunting. Dotson loved thrifting from his teenage years, and he turned it into a successful venture with his wife. When he became a well-known name in the thrifting world, he came under the radar of Storage Wars producers, and they immediately cast them for the first season of the show. Dan was a massive hit on the show, staying with Storage Wars for an impressive 10 seasons, and he was also receiving a generous pay. However, due to financial issues faced by A&E, the TV network airing Storage Wars, Dotson had to leave the show. Dan then got back to his auctioneering business with his wife and worked full-time on expanding his business. But in 2021, Storage Wars was back on screen, and the creators contacted its OG member Dotson to come back to the show. Besides, in the teaser of 2023, Dan could be seen pretty excited about the new season. Weiss is the member of the OG cast of the show, and he's made it clear on several occasions that there's no better player in the storage game than him. He finds statement pieces from absolute garbage so effortlessly that people get hooked on seeing him on screen.
All right, you grab the boxes and bring them to me. There's nothing in
Nothing?
there. No.
Okay.
Here, right here.
Baseball helmets.
$3.
He also took over the leading role in the Storage Wars spin-off, Barry's Treasure, but this show didn't do as good as Barry was expecting, so it was cancelled after just one season. He got really disappointed after his own show's underwhelming performance and went back to his regular life. Then, in 2019, he got into an accident and went through a really rough patch financially. But finally, in the 14th season, Barry came back to Storage Wars and reclaimed his throne as the most eagle-eyed auctioneer among the bunch. He seemed to be pretty excited to get back on the field, and after a very successful season, Barry is coming back to Storage Wars in 2023, and fans really can't keep their calm. Brandon was always into thrifting because he didn't have a lot of money in his teenage years, so he made ends meet by thrifting most of the stuff he owned. There came a time when Brandon became such a huge deal in the thrifting world that everyone adored him, and that's when Storage Wars creators noticed him too. They brought him on board for the first season of the show, and he quickly became a regular cast member. Brandon's witty one-liners were iconic, and people loved having him on the show. But when A&E was letting employees go due to budget cuts, they also fired Brandy Sante after the 9th season. Once he left the show, he was struggling financially, so Brandon decided to become a real estate agent. But this didn't go as planned either, as Brandon soon became a UPS driver and started spending more time with his family, but his financial struggles continued to get worse. Now, reports are suggesting that Brandy Sheets might be back on the show, or at least make a cameo at the new show. Laura Dotson was born and raised in California, and she's been around the thrifting scene for years now. She's been the co-owner of an auctioning business with her husband Dan Dotson. Once he became a household name in the auctioning industry, she was cast in Storage Wars in 2010. She works with a team of professional buyers to buy professional units and sell them for great profits. Even the creator of Storage Wars once revealed that the idea of Storage Wars was basically inspired by Dan and Laura Dotson. But she had to leave the show during the financial crisis and went back to her auctioneering business, which was booming at the time. According to the recent teaser, Laura Dotson won't just be making a cameo in the new season of Storage Wars, but she'll also be heading a team of buyers just like always. So it's good news for the OG viewers of the show who'll be wanting to see Laura back on screen for such a long time. Ivy Calvin was the most anticipated treasure hunter on season 3 of Storage Wars, and once this season aired, people loved his bargaining and clever tricks. Ivy's presence made the competition on the show much tougher, and it pushed all the other teams to try even harder to outperform him. He ran the thrift business since he was very young, so it allowed him to have a deeper knowledge of stuff that was going to get a lot more profit. So Ivy's expertise brought a very efficient edge to the show. Interestingly, Ivy's also an expert in martial arts and football, but he chose thrifting and treasure hunting as his career, which shocks a lot of people.
But there's at least $200 worth of fancy clothes here.
How much do you think we can get for all these?
All the glasses, $20.
Lanterns, jumper cables. Probably get $20 for including the bag.
Well, we got some Harley bags.
Even before he was in Storage Wars, he used to travel a lot in search of vintage artifacts that he could sell for unbelievable profits. When Ivy was featured in Storage Wars, he became an instant fan favourite due to his expertise and knowledge. His appearance on the show also had a positive impact on his business, as even after he stopped working on the show, his business continued to thrive and grow. Ivy took a break from Storage Wars because he was barely getting any time to shoot, as his business was growing really fast. But now that his company is expanding at a linear pace, it seems like Ivy is getting back on the storage bandwagon and will be a huge part of the new season of Storage Wars. Daryl Sheets was known as the gambler of the thrifting world, as he put a lot of money on items that were mostly considered useless, and he even managed to sell them with profit. Once he got enough items to auction off, his collection got featured in Storage Wars. In a stroke of luck, Ivy once stumbled upon an artwork in a random thrift shop which turned out to be worth over $300,000. This discovery made him an instant sensation on the show. However, he faced a challenging setback when he experienced a heart attack, leading him to take a lengthy break from the spotlight. But now that he's fully recovered, he might be getting back into the auctioning game. Daryl has been enjoying his time alone for the last couple of years, but now he's decided to get back in the field, as he's going to be a huge part of the new season of Storage Wars. People are actually excited to see his collection, as he's been away from the mainstream media for years, and now it looks like he might have more treasures than before to feature. Daryl's vast collection of priceless comic books has now become a major attraction, and fans eagerly await new additions. His presence on the show proves to be a valuable asset for his teammates, as his remarkable eye for finding priceless items is truly unmatched. Daryl is always up for some healthy competition, like Ivy, and he'll probably take ratings of the new season to a whole new level.